Hi everyone, it's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So if this is one of your first times joining me on YouTube, welcome. I'm so glad that you have found me. And also make sure that you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that bell that is just down, I think it's down, down over here. And you'll get notified immediately as soon as I upload a new video. So today what I want to do is I want to show you a surprise pop-up kind of pull-out type card. This was a card that was actually shown at a team meeting that I was at. And it was an amazing thing, and I never really did it then. So I wanted to actually try doing it using some new product. The new product that we're using, or that I'm using today, is going to be available in November. Now, this is kind of a pre-order from the J to J mini catalog, but this is a full suite. It's called Fitting Florets. It has amazing designer series paper, these really cute gems that are here, and then also a specialty stamp set that is only Christmas. It's words from Christmas that are here. I'm sorry I don't have that with me, but those three products are only available while quantities last, or until January the 4th, whichever comes first. But what we're going to be mainly working on will be some of this designer series paper, but I'm going to be using this framed florets stamp set. Is a photopolymer stamp set. There's 13 stamp sets in it. Beautiful sentiments in it with a really pretty flower and leaf um, images on there. Plus also it comes as a bundle, so you would save the 10%, and it comes with these 13 dies. Now these dies cut out this, and it also cuts out this one here. We have some of these that are cut out there, but they come with ovals. And these ovals, this one's really pretty with the hearts. This comes with an oval that you basically, it cuts out and cuts out the inside oval. That's for another card. And then this one here, this plain oval one here, cuts out and basically also cuts out the oval. So when you put it through, it cuts out like this, and then you get the two separate pieces. And the beauty of that is that you can sit there and you can mix and match them up, and they work great. This one also goes inside of this one. So when you cut this out, you can also put this in between here, and it works out really, really nice on the things. So anyways, these dies, if you like oval dies, these are for you. And these framed florets are just gorgeous. Now, the one thing that they've started doing is framed. These will be named the same for a stamp set and the dies that go with it. So it makes it a little bit easier for you. So we're going to be using that. And like I say, we're doing a pop-up card with this. Now, I had tried doing one of these before and I ran into some problems. So we are going to do this together. Now, this piece here, and I want to make sure that you have to have a really good trimmer. And honestly, the Stampin' Up trimmer is one of the better trimmers out there. I don't say that just because I sell the Stampin' Up stuff, but I say that because the measurements are so accurate. All right, so we have the score and we have the cutter. So this piece is 5 1/4 by 9 3/4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to score at 4 1/4. And it's really important that you see this scoring as I'm doing it. So it's 9 1/4 or 4 1/4. And then on this side here, we're going to put this at a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to go off of this side here. And I'm going to score at a 1/2 inch. You know what? I want it to be where the short part is up at the top. So I'm going to do this at a 1/2 inch. And we're going to score that all the way. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to come with my trimmer and I'm going to line it up at that 4 1/4. Going to push down, and we're going to cut that. Now, the reason I do it this way is so that I don't have if you're out by just a little bit by where you're eyeing up where your measurements are, what could happen is that this could be cut in a different spot. And it's so important that you know that you cut on the same spot. So I'm just going to turn this because I need to score that again at a 1/2 inch all the way down. All the way down. And then I'm going to go ahead and line this up here at this mark. Remember, this is where it's cut. So I want to cut down at the bottom part of this here. So I'm just going to go like that and cut that like that. And then that's how that works there. Now, I'm going to come back in with the score after when we get going on the next piece here. So what you want to also do at this part here, on here, is you want to kind of cut it off on an angle like so on both sides. Just like that. And that's just going to help with the scoring. And those are just discarded. So we're going to go ahead and fold that. And let's go in with our bone folder and make sure we've got a really good score line. And then we're also going to fold this part in and fold this part in as well. All right, so the way that this is going to go is this goes like this, and then this other piece is going to go in that part of the card. So let's just put that off to the side. And then we have this piece that happens to be 3 3/4 by 7.5, and I want to score this at 3 inches. So I'm bringing this back in, and let's just line this up at the 3. And we're going to go ahead and score that. And then that's just going to go like that. And then what's going to happen is this part here is going to pull out here and then pop up. All right. So let's go ahead and start doing some of the decoration and everything on here. So on the front here, I've used this Designer Series paper. I'm going to go ahead and layer this onto here. So I'm hoping I have enough glue in this. I do have one handy, so. And let's go ahead and put this on. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way. It's your preference. This piece of Designer Series paper happens to be 4 by 4. It's just going to go on here. Now, if you wanted to do another layer, you could do another layer. But I thought that this was enough to go on this particular piece. So that's going to be the front of the card. And then I thought it would be really nice to have these labels on there. So I thought I could do a white label with a pink inside. Do we want to do that? Let's see. Or do we want to go a pink label, the oval with this inside? And I honestly think that this might be the best to do. So we want to go ahead and stamp on here. Now I want a birthday card. So I'm coming in with this beautiful, wishing for a beautiful birthday. And I'm going to actually do that in polished pink because I think that'll really show up nice on this card. And plus there's accents of petal or polished pink on there. So I'm just going to come in here and now this has got lots of padding underneath here because I've got a whole thing of grid paper here. So I'm just going to use that. If not, what you should do is you should maybe use a paper piercing mat. So I'm just going to go ahead and, you know what, I'm just going to move this up just a bit because I think I might put some florals down below. Just like that. That was polished pink that I used. So what I can do is I can go ahead, put this on here. Now I could go ahead and lift these up and have this recessed, or I think what I'll do is I'll have this popped up. I want to use the petal pink one. I'm going to pop this one up. Now I went ahead with the designer series paper and I cut out some of these florals. So I've cut out this one, which we can move that up like that. Or I've cut out this one, but there's also one done in the polished pink, and I think that might just show off. There we go. So let's go ahead, put this frame on the front. So just a thin bead of glue. And I'm just going to pop that up there. Now, I wonder if I should, let's see. Just going to put that, I'm going to put it in the middle. I'm just going to put it up just a bit. And then I'm going to come in with my dimensionals. And we're going to pop up this sentiment. Now, always when I do a card that's kind of like this that I haven't done or I hadn't done, I play around with an awful lot of samples to begin with, but I always do a template, and I'll show you my template in just a second here. All right, so that's just going to pop up like that. And then, of course, we want to put this on here, that one or this one. That one ties in a little too much. So I'm going to pop that up, but I'm going to pop it up on just this one side, and then we're going to glue on this side so that we don't have an uneven portion when we're, okay, so this is going to go here. I'm going to have this go right about like this. So I'm just going to glue this portion right there. Just like, go right about there. There we go. So that's the front done. We'll put some embellishments on there in a bit. Now let's work on the inside part of the card. So we have a piece of this designer series paper. It's all from the Fitting Florets. And where did that, there's this piece here. So this part is going to go on the inside here. And this part's going to go here. All right, so let's go ahead and put that on there. This is so pretty, this one here. I did another card using this. And it's like a Christmas, right? So we have that to go there. The inside. This to go on the outside. And this is all the same designer series paper. Oops. There we go. And this part here, this piece happens, oh, this piece here, this designer series paper is 3.5 by 4 1/4. And this piece here is 2 3/4 by 3.5. And then we have a piece of basic white, and it is 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. And it's actually going to go right up in here. But we need to have some other stuff done before we're going to put that in there. We need to have the mechanism that's going to make it pull up. So we have a piece here that happens to be, this one is 2.5 by 2.5. And then I'm going to come in with my scoring blade again, or my trimmer. And we are going to measure on two sides. So I'm going to measure, like I say, this is 2.5 by 2.5. So this is going to be 3/8 on one side. And then I'm going to turn it completely around. And I just lost my scoring thing, but I do have another one that's right here. And we're going to measure that one at 3/8 as well. Okay. And then this is the magic part. So we're just going to score this part in like this. I'm going to come in with my tear and tape. And just bear with me. Just come with my tear and tape. And we're just going to go ahead and put that. It's the new one. There we go. And we're just going to go ahead and put this on this part here. And also on this part here. And then this is when I always refer to my extra piece that I've got. So I have, this is my template. So what I want to do is bring in this piece here. And this is going to go right on here, right along that edge, just like that. And then this part is going to attach up here. So what I want to do is I want to manipulate this a little bit. If I left it, because it's quite coarse or heavier, so I'm just going to come in and I'm going to use my bone folder and I'm just going to get this curled a little bit, just like that. Like I say, this part here is going to go right on here. Now, originally I was going to put this underneath and have this part not showing, but it doesn't work. So you need to put this piece on top of the designer series paper. So it's going to come, this is coming like this. So we've got it going here. We're going to get it right in the center there. And we're going to get that good and scored down like that. So what it looks like is like this. So see, I've got my template. We've got it going like that. Now this part here is going to attach to this top part up here. And this is the magic. If you don't have this part correct, this is when you have issues with this whole mechanism working. Now we want to make sure that we've got it even. We also want to make sure that we've got everything done a certain way. So I'm going to have this roughly about here. All right. So I'm coming down. This is that mechanism that's going to work with the pull and everything. And before I stick this down, I'm going to double check with my template. So I have this going like this. Oops, we have it going like so. All right, so this is going to line up like this. I've taken that tear and tape off, and now we want to make sure that's even on both sides. This is down, and we want this part here to line up, this part of the top part to line up with this part right here. So I'm just scoring that down again. We want it even in the center. And like I say, you kind of have to have 3 hands doing this part. But once you've got that lined up and in the center, there, lined up right along that edge, we're going to score that or bone fold that part down. And see, that's where the mechanism is going to work. So this goes in like this. And when we pull this out, and this goes, just wait, I just want to quickly show you. When this gets pulled out, it's going to just pop that card up like that. Pretty cool, right? All right, so we have that part done. Now let's go ahead and do our sentiment that's going to go on here. So we have wishes for a beautiful birthday for a special person on a special day, I think really is appropriate. And we'll go ahead and put that on this piece here. And we're going to do that also in polished pink. So we want to make sure that that's even. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to put this just about in the middle. Well, no, you know what? If I do it in the middle, you can't very well write on it. Well, we'll do it in the middle. There we go. And is that straight? Yeah. It's because the font is off a little bit. It looks like it may not be straight, but I think if I look at that, let's just see if I am straight. So we have about 1.1 on that side. And well, 1.1. So because of the way it goes, that is straight, but it looks like it may not be straight, but it's straight. Okay, so I'm going to pop this up because when this comes down and pops up, we don't, and you know what? That piece is almost too long. I don't want that. I'm going to come and I'm going to cut that part off, and I'm not sure why. This piece should have been too, oh, you know, I could have done it like this, and that would have been all right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a little bit off of here because otherwise it's going to show. 2 3/4 is, I think, it's going to be a 2 3/4 inch square then. That's what I'm going to do. And I want to make sure that that part doesn't show on here. So I'm just going to bring it, there we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue that on there. Time for new glue almost. So right like there in the middle. Double check. Yeah, that'll work. Straighten that up. There we go. All right. It looks like this is going to work for us. Okay, now what we want to do is this part's going to come up there, and what we want to do is put some more tear and tape on here. So just going to come in here. And some tear and tape right here. Now, our tear and tape is only 1/4 inch. We may want to put some more on there, and I think I just might. So I'm just going to take this part off. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. That's all right. I think we're going to leave that like that. Okay, so I'm going to bring this down like this. This part is here. And I'm going to take this part, and I'm only going to do about half of it off. I have a video that actually shows how to work with this tear and tape so that you don't get it stuck completely down. So I'm just going to flip this over. Now you notice I put this on the inside of it. Okay, flipping it over, I'm going to make sure that this side, because I shouldn't have taken all that tear and tape off. And then with this side, I'm just going to go ahead and stick that part down like that. Whoops, that did not work very good. Just going to take that tear and tape off like so, and then stick that down. All right. So now what we have is we have this coming out, pops up just like that. Now this part here kind of catches on there. So I do have another piece of this designer series paper. I had it, oh, couldn't see it because it was there. So what I want to do is I want to put this piece, and I want to get it so that it goes over this part that's right down in there so that it doesn't catch. Originally, when I tried doing this, I tried to actually miter off these corners, and that made it worse. So I'm going to go in with my glue, and this piece happens to be 1 1/4 by 4, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yeah, 1¼ by 4 inches. And once this is kind of set up a little bit, I should have actually used tear and tape on here, I think. And see, this is going to match with that. And I'm putting it just over these edges right in there, so it's smooth sailing. We could have actually done that 1½ would have been okay too. Just going to pull that down. And that's covered up those one edges right there. Now we have that part. Now what we want to do is we want to put some embellishments on here. Now the gold embellishments that go with this suite are really pretty, but I really wanted to have something that was more monochromatic with it. This particular one. So these 2021-23 in color opal rounds, I'm going to use the polished pink that are on there. Put one down there, and then let's use another one up here, and another little one. Actually, that would have been really cute right on the, but I'm going to leave it like that. So I didn't think this one needed any ribbon, and I'm so happy that it turned out. I'm just waiting to make sure so that I can show you that that is glued in there really good. So all you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to pop it up. So see, by putting that piece in there, that stopped us from doing whatever. I would make this instead of 1¼ I would make it more like 1½. But let's go like this. How cool is that? Would you not love to have a birthday card that has that on there? In any event, I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share my video. I do appreciate that when you do that. And like I say, this is the Fitting Florets. That all of it is only available while quantities last until January the 4th. But the bundle, the one with the dies and the stamp set, you can save 10%. But these will be available in the J mini catalog. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Bye for now.